Do you feel closer to, I'll just call it the source, the universe, a higher power, or whatever, when you write?
Sure. That's a very interesting question. Not always. I think I can write and not be in touch with my higher power or source and actually be very far from it, but think that I'm doing the kind of writing that I should be doing. And this is where I think I can get lost. So with the slasher horror story, I'm not sure that was in line with what my higher power or the source wanted me to write, because my intention was in the wrong place. So for me, being in conscious contact with my higher power is a very difficult daily thing that I have to keep doing. And to translate that into writing, I think merely the fact that I'm writing doesn't mean that I'm in touch with my higher power. Even it might feel creative, it might feel fun, but it's not always. Sometimes I may be, I don't know, doing it for the wrong reasons in a way. I don't know if this answers the question, but sometimes when I'm writing, it does feel very like aligned and everything just kind of flows and you're in the flow and everything's perfect. And that does feel a little bit higher power-y. Yeah, it does feel a bit like a divine intervention, that kind of thing, you know, Zeus lightning bolt from above, you know, it can feel, yeah. I need to do more writing. That's what is making me realize. Because I think when I am writing in tune with my higher power or whatever, it can be really powerful. Yeah.
I know we've talked about intention a couple times during our interview today. What if somebody knows their intention is not exactly in line with them, but they know they're going to write anyway? So they're aware.
Yeah.
I'm writing this for the market.
Yep.
I'm writing a revenge story,
Yep.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I know that. And I'm going to own that. And then here it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's interesting. I couldn't be in that space. The revenge stories are so interesting to me because revenge stories are like, I mean, I don't want to go on a whole tangent, but I might. No, stop me. I won't. I better not. I'll get into trouble. Revenge stories for me are, you know, when I was 15 or 16 or, you know, and I was a long-haired goth and I was depressed, revenge stories were all I thought of. All the time. And so I find revenge stories are almost like juvenile and they just kind of spurt out and they're very easy to access. So yeah, I think if you want to write that, then I guess it's fine. I'm just not really interested in writing that myself, and I'm not really that interested in watching it because it's not going to teach me anything new. It's going to teach me what I knew when I was 15. You know, there's no insight into the world necessarily for me in a revenge story. I think, however, yeah, sometimes you just have to write for the market if you want to earn money, and you know someone's got to. But I think it can lead you into difficult spaces. You know, it can lead you into places that are maybe not the best. And but the very nature and structure of movies actually is, you know, an individual overcoming obstacles, fighting things, getting what they want, and very often, more often than not, especially now in the age of Avengers and movies, killing the bad guy with brute force and then winning. You know, that's it's the American way. It really is in a way. It's like, you know, might makes right. I'm stronger than you. I can shoot guns faster than you. I can punch faster than you. I'm harder, therefore I'm the goodie. And getting out of that paradigm is a really difficult thing. And I think that paradigm has got us into a lot of trouble as a society. But finding stories that have different solutions to that problem is exciting for me, and that's where the real cool stuff happens. So like even in Doctor Strange, at the end of Doctor Strange, the Avengers movie, he negotiates with the monster. He actually says, I'm going to keep doing this, I'm going to keep coming back in time, and I'm going to keep being here unless you leave me alone, and the monster then leaves. So I was really interested in that they found a solution that wasn't normally like in Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman was lovely, but in the end she had to beat the evil guy by fighting him physically with power and overpowering him, and therefore she won. Whereas Doctor Strange had an interesting twist to that. Anyway, I find it interesting because we're almost trapped in this structure of movies to relive the individual overcoming obstacles, because that's what's easy to watch. You know, it is nice to watch. I mean, don't get me wrong, I watch all the Avengers movies. I like them, but I find the solutions are always disappointing because they almost always involve being more violent or stronger than your opponent. And I don't know if that is going to it may have led us into global warming, into, you know, political issues that we have. You know, it's quite possible that kind of narrative is limiting, and I think that there's more interesting narratives, and those narratives are actually being explored in television. So interesting, the TV series that don't always have to be that one, sort of 1 or 2 hour long sort of, 120-minute structure. They do things a little bit differently sometimes. And so you have more complicated solutions to problems in the TV series world, which is, I think, maybe also why people are drawn towards TV now. Besides just the impact of Netflix, and there's the stories that are being told there are more nuanced and more interesting, and the solutions being offered to the problems posed by the narrative are, I think, more interesting in the television space at the moment.
And maybe more so too with art house cinema?
Yes, I think so, yeah. Art house cinema has always been a place where that's been explored in some ways. But I was, I've been looking to watch some movies while I'm here because, I'm in America. I want to watch movies in America because it's a different experience watching movies in America as to watching them abroad. Because in America, when you're abroad, you're watching, it's almost like American movies are foreign films, which is bizarre because I grew up with the television, American television, as much as you guys did here. And I've watched lots of American, but they're still foreign in a way. But you're here, you're like, okay, these are people here. They all speak this accent and they're all here. And this is the world that they're presenting. So it's interesting watching American movies in America. There's probably something to that. But I couldn't really find anything to watch at the cinema. It was a bit sad. I was like, AMC Dino, I love it, as I said before. What can I watch? And then there were a few, feel-good alternative smaller stories, but they were the feel-good alternative smaller stories that I've seen 100 times. And I'm like, I'm not really interested in that anymore. So yeah, it was difficult to find something. I'd rather watch TV. Maybe they should have AMC diners and they show TV series.
There you go. Well, and there's some great art house cinema in LA. It's excellent. And the stories do feel to me more satisfying.
Awesome.
And they're not, the endings, of course, it's not always a neat packaged ending. And I think that's the beauty of them. So anyway, I've said it many times. So.